So yesterday there was a Packers segment on ESPN. Dan Orlovsky gave some thoughts about the Packers, and so I thought we would tune in and listen to hear what he had to say. If you guys are new, you want Packers content, I put out Packers content typically twice every weekday, so feel free to subscribe.
Dan, what have you seen from Jordan Love that gives you a lot of hope heading into the season?
Well, everybody with him. That was really the difference last year. Jordan grew a lot, no question, but they became an offense that was very difficult to match up against because you saw the development of Christian Watson when he was healthy. You saw development of Reed when he got a little bit more comfortable. Musgrave and Kraft at the tight end positions, and then Romeo Doubs. And so you saw this group that was maybe not this household name stars, but they had 5 or 6 guys that were very difficult to match up against defensively, especially if you tried to play man coverage. So teams started to play a little bit more zone coverage. And then what happened was Jordan Love absolutely destroyed zone coverage on the back end of the season because they saw so much of it, because everybody around them started to develop as a viable threat. And I think we're going to continue to see that for the Green Bay Packers offense in 2024.
Yeah, what a transformation. You see it as the numbers bear out. Dan pointing that out. Boog, along those lines, what do you think the game plan needs to be specifically this season with Love when it comes to run versus pass?
Well, I think they're going to run the football. There's no doubt about that with Jacobs. You know, you don't go out and get a guy like that and not run the football. But make no mistake about it. This is a passing league. And even though they're going to run the football and give him his fair share, this is going to be on Jordan Love. And I think you want to see the next step from Jordan Love. Dan, I'd love to hear your opinion on this. To me,
I sort of feel like Jordan Love has already taken the next step. I don't know if he can't be that much better, to be completely honest. What was it? I'm forgetting the stat, but it was something like final 8 games, 17 or 18 touchdowns, 1 interception. You can't get much better than that. So I feel like if Jordan Love keeps playing at that level, the Packers will be fine. Now, when it comes to how the game ended against the Niners and the interceptions he threw, obviously he can get better in that area. But I think that if Jordan Love can keep playing as he did down the stretch last season, I mean, the Packers are going to be more than okay.
You're right. The second half of last season, Jordan Love took his game to the next level. So now what's next for him? I think the next thing for him is, regardless whether it's man, zone, regardless of the coverage, in crunch time, can we win because of you, not because of the system? Can you go above the X's and O's and start to make plays and win because of your performance? That's what
I think that's a good point, especially when it comes to playoff football. And we saw Jordan Love, big situation. Cowboys got it done, looked easy for this Packers team. And then against the Niners, the Packers were so close. There were so many, I remember watching that game. The first half, it really felt like the Packers had it in the bag. Then we have a missed field goal. Jordan Love can't get it done in crunch time. And so it is up to Jordan Love in those big situations, not making those kind of mistakes. I think that interception we saw to end that Niners game, which sort of just ended the whole thing for the Packers in the playoffs, that was something we saw more from Jordan Love early in the season when he was struggling with the ball placement and throwing some interceptions that just weren't the best kind of decisions. Down the stretch in the season until the end of that 49ers game, he had gotten pretty good at not trying to force things and putting the ball in bad positions. He was very good at checking it down. If a guy's fully covered, not putting the ball in harm's way. And I think that he just got probably overly wanting to end things with the Niners, had that confidence, and at times that confidence can be good, but it makes you, throw a bad throw across your body over the middle. Obviously, you can't have those kinds of things, but I think he'll learn from that and get better in those moments going forward.
The great ones do.
That's
what Mahomes does. That's what Josh Allen does. I want to see him take that next step.
Here's the thing with that, Boog, is in this system, which is the Kyle Shanahan system, I often say quarterbacks that are the best at it, let the system be the star. So if you're Jordan Love, you got to continue to let Matt LaFleur and the play calling in the system be the star, and then in moments certainly have those big-time performances. But if he makes it about me and my growth and my development, that's when I think he can get himself into trouble this year.
That's exactly what I mean. Play the system, but at certain moments, in those moments, you got to be able to make big-time plays. Yeah. Sorry about that, Graz.
I agree with these guys.
No, it's all good. I think it goes back to what Dano was talking about at the beginning of this conversation, which is what that young Packers offense went through together last year, the young group around Jordan Love. And I was working on a story that's up on ESPN.com right now, if anybody wants to go read it after the show, about roster building. And I talked to Brian Gutekunst, the GM, and he talked about that group last year. And he said that the confidence the coaching staff had in them to play them as young guys, he said everything they went through, the difficult times last year, they were going through it together. So when they came out on the other side, they had all this shared scar tissue to build on. So I think they'll continue to build on that. They believe in Jordan Love. I think the Packers believe in him and will show that with a contract extension at some point before the season starts. They bring in Josh Jacobs, the running back, who's had a little bit of a hamstring thing this offseason, but they don't seem too worried about that. Younger at running back than Aaron Jones, and they feel like they're on the ascent.
And one of the things that I love about this Packers team, he noted how Gutekunst talked about these young receivers basically growing together, is you can tell just from if you watch any of the Packers interviews in the locker room through OTAs and minicamp, you can see how much these guys, want to play for each other, how much, how strong the chemistry is between this unit. And I think it's something we saw down the stretch last season as the season progressed. We saw that they were really coming together with that underdog mentality when people were sort of doubting them down the stretch when they had such a bad start to start the year. They really came together, and you could tell there was just this unity among the team and among the roster, and I think that's continued into the offseason. And where last offseason, there wasn't this expectation for a Super Bowl. I think that in the back of their mind, they thought it's probably possible, but now they really know what is possible based on what they did to end last year. And so I think there's this confidence and this belief in what they can do together. And just honestly, go check out the Packers YouTube channel, watch lots of those interviews from these young players and even veterans, Kenny Clark, Preston Smith, and you can tell that they're all bought in and they are all very close to each other, and you can tell it's going to be a solid season for the Green Bay Packers. But that is all I have for this one. If you want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below. You can follow me on X for more Packers content, Luke Beller 3. I'll leave it at the top of the description. Just click on it. You can follow me there for more Packers content. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.